Welcome back, Dual-Sided. We're back. Another UFC topic. And guess what it is today?
What is it?
The Sugar Show. Sean O'Malley. He has a potential, opportunity to meet the notorious Conor McGregor. As we know, Conor McGregor is facing Dustin the Diamond Poirier on July 10th, UFC 264. And another developing story in the UFC today is Sean O'Malley versus Luis Smolka, I believe is how you say your name, is being targeted for UFC 264 on July 10th. So we'll see if that, becomes official. Nothing's official now, but it's pretty apparent that that's the next added event to the already stacked.
So that would be an undercard?
Yeah, undercard. It may even be a prelim, I believe, which would be crazy. But, I mean, that's how stacked it is. Like, we're not even going to the whole card, but the co-main event of the card is, Gilbert Burns, which obviously he is coming off a loss against, Usman, a knockout loss, which he gave Usman a tough time, wouldn't you say? He did knock him down.
Definitely made a run for his money.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen Usman get knocked down by a contender, and Burns is definitely a contender against, one of, a legend, a future Hall of Famer, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Obviously, I'm pretty sure they're both just at 4 losses, I believe. But, obviously Wonderboy's
O'Malley?
No, I mean Thompson and Burns.
Oh.
But Thompson, I think, is just 4 losses. Burns, I think, has 4 losses, I believe. Yeah, Thompson?
Yeah, both of them have it.
Yeah, so both just at 4 losses. So that's gonna be an interesting fight. I don't know. We'll cover that when the time comes. That's gonna be an interesting matchup. But UFC 264, obviously, with the notorious, when the fight was announced, a trilogy against Dustin, obviously it was sold out. Dana White tweeting, "Boom, see you in Vegas." And then Conor McGregor tweeting, "Wow, I just beat this time in selling out the T-Mobile Arena. 20,800 fans, jam-packed, sold out in seconds on the 10-year anniversary of my fastest one-punch KO in professional mixed martial arts. Still one of the fastest in professional mixed martial arts history. 3.5 seconds is what he said." This was all a few weeks ago on April 16th. And obviously this whole UFC 264 will be it'll take place in T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas with full capacity, which obviously, Dana White and, Conor McGregor stated 20,800 fans, which is a lot.
Yeah, it's back to normal, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's back to normal there. And I thought there was going to be a pullout from this location to a different location because of the article, some Las Vegas news outlet. You heard about that, where they wrote, criticizing Dana White and the UFC of, putting on an event full capacity in Florida. Yeah. So, I mean, and Dana White obviously was upset about that and, saying it was a low blow, I believe. But regardless, Sean O'Malley is coming off a knockout of Thomas Almeida at UFC 260 in March. Obviously, he knocked him down, and he expected him to be out like the one punch knockout of Eddie Weiland, I believe is his name, and of last year, which was probably the greatest walkout KOs, I believe.
Walk-off
knockouts, yeah. And it was against Eddie Weiland. Is that his name?
Yeah,
Eddie Weiland, and probably the best I've ever seen. I mean, that or the Cody Garbrandt of last year as well, but which obviously 260, that's where he beat Thomas Almeida via knockouts. It was headlined by Stipe versus Ngannou, the second one, the rematch. And on the other end, Smolka is coming off a TKO of Jose Quinones. I don't even know how to say that, at UFC on ESPN 19 in December. And this is Smolka's second stint with the UFC. And during his second stint, he's 3-2. So I don't. That's not a bad record, but his professional record total is 17-7, and obviously O'Malley's at 13-1. His first loss came against Marlon Vera by TKO.
And this his loss, he doesn't
Yeah, he doesn't like to acknowledge it, which I mean I wouldn't either, but he did lose. So I mean he's just gotta get that through his head. I mean, but the greats lose. I mean, I'm the greatest of all time right there. I'm pretty sure he's lost the fight. It's not like he's been undefeated. Which he's lost the fight, huh? Just make sure before I even continue with this. But the greats lose. I mean,
Yeah, he definitely lost 5.
yeah, he lost fights, but the greats lose. So Malley definitely is going to learn from that. Obviously, he won his last one. Hopefully he can get this one done. But even after claiming he was still undefeated, he sold merch. As soon as he knocked Almeida out, releasing merch saying that states undefeated after his last match, which is kind of funny. It's a cool T-shirt, which I would definitely buy. But many people, obviously, as it's exciting it is. There's also the critics that say, O'Malley should face actual contenders, actual ranked people, ranked fighters instead of unranked guys. But at the same time, O'Malley isn't ranked yet either, and he's only 26. So I mean, that's young, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it fair to say he hasn't reached his prime yet?
Not for sure. No.
26 years old in the UFC. There's no way you have
just in the past couple of years that we've seen him, he's just improved vastly.
And he's just scratching the surface. I mean, obviously he's not ready to face contenders like Pure Yan. Can you look up the bantamweight rankings of the UFC? I'm pretty sure the number 1 is Aljamain Sterling. Number 2, obviously, Pure Yang, which obviously the whole controversy.
Sandhagen.
Yeah, Sandhagen is a legit contender. Obviously, he got choked out by Sterling, but he's Sandhagen's coming off a flying.
He's not even ranked in this.
Who, Sandhagen?
No,
O'Malley's not ranked. That's why everyone's like want him to fight against ranked guys, to get him.
How is he not ranked in?
Because he hasn't fought ranked guys. I don't think. Until he fights like a ranked guy. I mean, Cody Garbrandt is above him. Rob Font, obviously, those two have a fight coming up. And then Jose Aldo's up there. There's contenders up there. Wouldn't you say? Like, these are legit, killers up there. Like, it's not like this isn't like.
Yeah, he can't just make a leap. He can't just fight Aldo. He's got to build his way up. Huh?
Which is 13-1. Like, he at least give him until he's like at 15 wins. After he gets 15 wins, then that's when we should all start considering. Fight, legit guys, which, I mean, you don't hear about, the great, like John Jones. I don't remember his first, 13 fights. That also could be that we just started watching the UFC, but I mean, O'Malley's going to be a great, but, he's just going to, take it easy and, slowly ease into those big fights. There was also report, but, Dominic Cruz, I think he debunked that he's wouldn't mind a fight against the Sugar Show, but I think he turned that down. He declined that he even said that, but the potential UFC 264 already stacked, potentially added with the Sugar Show. Obviously, Sean O'Malley, a very marketable guy, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
A future superstar, if not already. I'm surprised that he's not even in the main co-main event or main card. Like, at least have his own fight night. But he's definitely on his way. He's 26. I mean, Conor at 26, I don't think Conor at 26 was at this level, at this hype going up. But he has the potential, which. Obviously, the UFC 264 once again stacked, headlined by the trilogy of, Conor versus Dustin, and the Sugar Show might meet, the Notorious, so that's gonna be a little. Maybe Conor can give him, some advice, because they're kind of this. Don't you see a little of Conor in O'Malley in terms of his confidence?
Yeah, not physical at all, but.
Even
attitude, maybe.
Even physically, Conor started off at 145. He didn't start. I think he started off even low, like one. No, for sure he fought at 145.
Conor's more like he's more polished. And this guy is wild.
Yeah, that's for sure. Connor's has more of a he's more technical.
Yeah.
This O'Malley's kind of all over the place at some point. Even his last fight, he was his stance, like, I don't know, like he has to work on that for sure. But regardless, UFC 264 potentially more exciting. What are your thoughts on this match potentially being added?
I hope, obviously it's already on July 10th. That's gonna be an exciting day already. But if this is added,
this may potentially be the fight of the card of the year, as other than the UFC 261, huh?
Which one was that?
The Usman versus Masvidal.
Oh, this last one?
Yeah, the last. This may overtake the.
Maybe there.
For sure, in pay-per-views, this is gonna kill that. Like,
just if you have McGregor and.
I think the Usman versus Masvidal was 700,000 pay-per-view buys. This one should hit 1 million for sure. Obviously McGregor holds the pay-per-view. He's the pay-per-view king in the UFC. I mean, there's no other way around it. Like, and he gets paid because he, the people want to see him. So you can't really say that about the John Jones of the UFC. Even though John Jones he earned his stripes, he definitely worth the whatever he's asking. I mean, he's not as entertaining. Yeah, he's not as marketable as the Notorious, but the Sugar Show definitely on his way to be on that marketable fighters. Obviously him, Connor, Izzy. You had Jorge Masvidal that got knocked out, but I mean, he's still, even after the loss, I think he's gonna be marketable, huh?
Yeah, Usman, you said him.
Yeah, Usman is a little not as marketable, but Usman is I think he's the pound for pound best in the UFC, in my opinion. But this one, Sugar Show, potentially being added to the UFC 264 card on July 10th. We'll see how that plays out. If it becomes official, we'll definitely come out with that news. But as of right now, it's not official. This is just in the works, targeted. That's what's being said. So until the UFC announces this
is where they negotiate.
Yeah, but from what I heard, that O'Malley and Smolka both gave their verbal agreement. So now it's the obviously what's the financial all that stuff. But it should get done. If not, then it's the UFC 264 is already booked and stacked. But this will just make it even more entertaining. Either way, we're gonna watch the whole damn fight. So once again, DUALSIGHTED. Follow us on social media down below at DUALSIGHTED, and comment, like, do all that, and enjoy. Stay tuned for our next video and next news, updating with this or anything in sports, entertainment, anything like that. Peace.